to me, I'm like, the monkeys pooped it out. Like,
we did give it a try. It was quite nice, I have to say. But I was just saying to her, this person keeps popping up and he's quite good looking. So she was like, why don't you just add him? And I was like, no way, I'm not going to add him. He watches a lot of TV, which gets to me sometimes because I'm like the total opposite. And before I married Apps, I never watched any TV. Like,
hi, it's Yalcin from Coban Weddings, and today I'm joined by the beautiful Sonam. And today we'll be having a chat about her wedding. Her wedding was one of those where she got to wear 3 amazing dresses. Yes, she had 3 events in one day, what every bride wants. So let's get to it. Welcome to the show.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
When did you get married again?
2019.
2019. So you lucky boy, you've been married. Apps is just off camera. You've been married for that long with this beautiful lady.
Not long enough.
Not long enough. Good boy. Is there anything that pops into your head like straight away that you think, damn, I wish I'd changed that?
In terms of like what I want, how I wanted it to look, the decor, all the supplies I think were great. There was only one thing that was out of my control, but I wish I maybe coordinated the cake person and the DJ. Hardly anyone got to eat the cake.
Yeah, I didn't eat your cake.
So,
did you have any cake? Yeah. So, I mean, absolutely, you can't say you didn't have cake. I got you.
No,
on
we
camera.
had cake when we tasted. We did the we did the cake.
Camera,
We did the cake cutting, so we had it. But the cake table was away from like the stage, and so when basically we cut the cake, the DJ didn't announce it, so the cake was just put away. Some people had it, some people didn't, and then at the end of it, it was just thrown away. So
well, when you say to me, I should have coordinated it better, I find myself giggling because when you came to see me and you came with briefcase of just all your plans, meticulously to the second, I think, planned, and you saying maybe I should have done it. How much more could you have planned?
I know. Well, I did my bit. I think on the day people didn't. Well, them two obviously didn't speak to each other, which was.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. So if you have different suppliers, just make sure that they talk to each other.
Yes, that's a big piece of advice I'd give. I think because we loved that venue, so I think we really wanted to keep those 3 events.
St. Pancras.
St. Pancras, yeah. So everything was pretty much almost had to be planned within 3 months when we actually secured the date. And after that, because it was 3 events, we just decided to. Put everything in one day, make the most of the venue, but that just meant even if one thing was late, the next ceremony would run late. And because it's an Indian wedding, it's.
Well, you had 3 dresses.
I had 3 dresses.
You had 3 dresses,
Yes.
3 months.
Yeah.
You really like the number 3, don't you?
Yeah.
So your first dress was you had the best of both. So you went for like a nice sort of traditional English style wedding dress.
Yeah.
Right? And then you had your Indian full-on outfit and then the third one was like an evening wear.
Yes.
You went for it, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about the selection of the dresses. What made you pick which?
It was quite interesting actually because I always thought I wanted a really fitted English dress.
Yeah.
And when I went to choose them, I tried on the dress that I thought I wanted, but that wasn't the dress that suited me. But I actually ended up going for a princess cut dress, which was like fitted up until here.
Yeah. And what made you sort of pick the particular dress that you chose? Because when you say princess, there's so many different types. So why did you pick that one?
I picked that one because I still wanted it to be a little bit Indian, even though it was an English dress. And whoever's been to an Indian wedding knows it's all glitz and glamour. So I wanted quite a lot of glitter in there.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I went for that dress.
You guys go all out.
Yes,
You
we
guys-
do.
yeah.
And also because people dress up so much to Indian weddings, you don't want to be outdone by somebody else. So
Did you have any rules?
I didn't have any.
No one can wear white, or no one. Did you have any?
No, I didn't.
I'm so surprised. I thought someone would have had like a sign outside, with somebody with a security guard checking people, going no.
No, I think I just wanted people to feel comfortable and just to be themselves. And I think with Indian weddings, what's really nice is it's just so colourful because everyone just comes in loads of different colours. And yeah, I just wanted people to be themselves and enjoy themselves.
Okay.
So I tried not to put too much pressure on it. And I think, to be honest, like I was so it was just so crazy trying to manage myself. I was like, I'm just going to try and get my 3 dresses sorted because what a lot of people.
It's a hardship. You're also very lucky.
Yeah.
3 dresses.
Yeah.
Come on, that's glitz and glam, isn't it? Right there, 3 dresses.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I think what people don't realise is, I didn't realise this myself, is dresses have almost, I think, it's pretty much a 3-month lead time.
Yes, they
so
do.
when you go to sort of pick your dress, you have to give them 3 months.
And this is pre-COVID.
This is
so
pre-COVID.
you're lucky, because you imagine the people who went through COVID trying to get a dress.
Yeah, I feel very lucky because of that. But yeah, it was, the dresses were, I think I loved wearing the dresses on the day, but it was a little bit of a bittersweet moment for me because when I went to actually choose the dresses, because I really wanted my mum to be with me, but because there was so less time and I had to literally get things done like that, I had to go and choose the dresses alone. And
so you had no one with you?
I had nobody. And I think that's one moment that when I look back on it, I just wish that you see it in the films and you see other people. And
you see mummy clapping or crying in the background.
Yeah, so
Saying that Apps didn't cry. Apps. Yeah. I know, I saw him before I had the conversation when I was like, Apps, when you see her, you're going to cry. And he was like, I'm going to try.
Yeah, I did see a look on Apps' face that I've never seen before, so that was quite nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the dresses...
So the stars didn't align for you? You know when they say like you find your dress, I've seen them, like in the movies, a lady finds her dress and it's like, oh, the stars align and everything. She's like, this is the one, and then birds appear and that sort of stuff. You didn't have that moment.
Do you know what? It wasn't like that for me because I think my mindset was like, I was literally on a mission. Like, I was like, I need to find one that works today. I need to place it. I only went once to see the dress.
Just once?
Yeah, I only went once to see my evening dress. I just went once, and this was so unlike me. So I was really out of my comfort zone.
I'm so shocked.
Yeah, so I went.
You even came to see me like 5 times.
Yeah, I know, and it's because of the date. Because everything was needed to be done in 3 months. I just didn't have time to sort of like faff around and like go to different, like loads of different boutiques. So I think I went to 2 or 3 different boutiques for the evening dress, and then I just chose one and I went for it, and I just hoped for the best.
I know you picked well though. Who's it by, the dress?
Ricky Dalal.
So the first one, all of them, or?
No, the third one was by Ricky Dalal.
The first dress?
The first dress I got from, that was just like a vintage boutique actually.
Really?
That I got it from.
Okay,
yeah.
that's good.
So
because you didn't have the lead time, you didn't have to worry about it.
I didn't have the lead time, I didn't have to worry about it. I did get it taken in by like a professional seamstress.
As we were walking in, Sonam's got her own Peloton. She's like that. She's been using the Peloton bike. I'm like, Sonam, what are you doing? You're like, oh, I'm just going on the Peloton. I'm just coming off the Peloton. I'm just going on the Peloton. I was like, do you work for Peloton? And you're like, no, I'm a project manager. I was like, are you sure? Because I feel like I want a Peloton now. That's me.
Yeah, I think the gym kept me sane during the wedding. And also, I've been a fitness freak for like over 10 years now. So it's like, it's a part of my life. So I think it always will be.
Some form of gym or something
100%.
like that to keep them sane. Forget besides the weight, just keep them sane. Yeah,
I think people don't, unless you exercise, I don't think you realise the benefits that it has on your mental clarity. Also, not just on your body. I think obviously everyone wants to look good, but you need to feel good. I think that's so important during your wedding because there's so many emotions that you go through.
So you don't want to kill the groom as well.
Yeah, exactly.
How much help was Apps while you were planning? I saw him. Well, you came with her when you saw me. I don't know about the rest of it.
Apps was very Apps was very present physically. I think in terms of the planning, I wouldn't have it any other way because I'm a bit of like a control freak. So I wanted to make all the decisions.
Very smart man. He said, was it more of a, what do you like?
The thing is that me and Apps, like I have to say, me and Apps are very lucky because we both have this very similar taste in things. Okay. So even like when we were wedding planning, everything we looked at, we did look at it together.
I mean, I love the way what you've done with the house.
Thank you. And yeah, so even like when we've done the house up, it's been like I've done all of the planning, but like it's not like we've disagreed on like design decisions or anything like that.
Smart man. You're such smart man. I like it. Very smart man. So the first part was the civil ceremony. Your dad was walking you down the aisle. Yeah. So the way that St. Pancras is set up is that you've got a staircase and it's going down. Did anything happen at that point? How did you feel walking towards your wedding? Well, to get married actually. I
felt extremely grateful that I could have that day. I think whenever I thought about my wedding before, it was that kind. I didn't think of that specific venue, but I thought of that kind of venue.
It's very grand.
Yeah, it's very grand, and I think I really wanted it to be like old world charm, like that kind of look. So we saw so many venues, and I think that moment when I was walking down with my dad, I think it was just. I still remember it so clearly. I remember
smiling on your dad's face.
Yeah. I remember it so clearly because...
I mean, your mum looks your mum still looks like she's in her 30s.
She,
The lady still looks so young,
Yeah.
right? And I said to her, I was like, are you sure that's your mum? Like, yeah, that is my mum, right? And then your mum's in the back clapping, and you're walking down the aisle, and then you see apps. What happens?
I was excited, I was nervous, I was scared. There was like loads of different things going on at the same time. But I think overall I was really happy. Like, I was happy that this moment's finally happening. That was
Because you were going to have 2 separate days, weren't you? Like, just traditionally in an Indian wedding, it's like you have your one wedding on one day, in a sense, your wedding, and then his wedding on another day, that kind of thing. But you guys, basically, that's why it was crammed in one day, and plus the price of St. Pancras, I can't imagine that. You had to have it on one day.
Yeah, that was the reason, and I think mainly because we wanted to make use of all the rooms, and also the cost is quite high for St. Pancras. I mean, it's not as high as you would think in comparison to some of the other competitive venues, but our wedding, it was really nice actually, because our wedding was, I think, either the first or the second ever Hindu wedding in St. Pancras. Yeah.
So while we were planning out your pictures, you were like, oh, my pictures are really important to me, my video is really important to me. I said, okay, so how much time do we get to take pictures? You're like, yeah, we might be able to squeeze 5 minutes in between this section, and then I think we've got 3.5 minutes or 7 minutes. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean you got 5 minutes? She's like, yeah. So the way my timing works is we're going to have our traditional civil ceremony. We're going to get married. And then after that, we'll see families a little bit. We'll go and take pictures, just the 2 of you, for 5 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes, you said, if we're lucky. Then we see on my timings. And then you go and have to go and change into the next outfit.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing started again.
It did. And to be honest, like, if I think of one thing that, like, right, I remember so clearly on that day, is that I was so stressed. Like, the getting ready part was really stressful. And I remember you saying that, and I remember changing the itinerary to allow more time for the photos.
I can't do that. I said to her, I can't work magic unless you want one great picture per section.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do in 5 minutes? It takes us 5 minutes to get to a location, like pick an area. You went and you got into your traditional Indian dress.
Yeah.
Is there a name for it?
Lehenga.
Lehenga.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Never heard of it. So you got your lehenga, which was very colourful. And then you had, I think you got ready, and then we're just about to go and take your pictures, like, you know, while you're walking downstairs, because I wanted to do you do it in Bollywood movies and stuff where the bride spins.
Yeah.
I needed to have that. I'm like, look, I've never done that before.
Yeah.
I've taken this stuff, but I need to do it from above while you're spinning. I need that scene. And just as we were walking out, you're like, I remember you touching your neck. You're like, something's wrong. Something's, and then we're still walking as you're saying this, and your 2 bridesmaids, my jewelry. And then you went back, and then it's huge. I'm like, how did you forget that? It's huge. And you put it around your neck, and I had to go back and do the pictures again.
Yeah.
Ah, Sonam.
I know, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, I had a heart attack on that day. I'm serious.
That would have been a disaster. Like, everyone would have killed me if I took pictures without that.
Because it's the
jewelry.
traditional thing.
It's the traditional thing, yeah.
And that section there was very long.
It was very long. Yeah.
I could see it from Apps' face. After a while, he was just like there. I could start seeing him. And then I think he was hungry as well. Yeah. So you're standing, the way that the Hindu traditional thing is, you're on the stage. And we're not allowed to wear shoes, obviously, on the stage. So I want to take pictures on the stage and off the stage and on the stage and off the stage. And I keep seeing me going on, taking my shoes off, jumping off, putting my shoes on. And after a while, I was like, why am I wearing my shoes? And just start walking around with socks all throughout the thing. And you're stood on the stage. In the English one, you're not looking at your guests while you're getting married, are you? You've got your back to them, so you're quite relaxed. You're looking into each other's eyes. But on this one, you just stood there with a crowd of people just staring at you, like a conference, right? Everyone's looking at you. What is that experience like?
Do you know what? I have to say, it was fine for me. Like, I thought I'd feel really nervous.
Yeah, I thought you
might. But when I was there, I just felt, I felt just really relieved that it was happening, because I'm not kidding. My biggest worry on that day was just getting out of the room on time, so the ceremony happens on time for the next one.
He would have been annoyed if we were late.
Yeah, and he would have been annoyed, and that would have had a knock-on effect on, like, anything that was late on that day would have had a knock-on effect on the rest of the day.
Guide me through that ceremony. So what's happening here? So you have the actual, obviously the words said there by the priest.
Yeah.
And then you have a lot of ghee, and then you're given. Yeah, listen, I apologize for my naivety. like I'm not exactly experienced in this, so I'm asking, right? Because you guided me through it, I had it written somewhere, but what is the actual ceremony? What does it symbolize?
So the ceremony, so we take 7 vows together. So it all starts, so Aps goes in first, and then there's a puja, which is like a prayer that happens before I go in. So this is a pre-prayer before I go in, and that's just to sort of bless the wedding ahead of it starting, essentially. And then I walk in with my dad. And the reason I walk in with my dad is because it's almost like my dad is giving me away to like another family. And then Aps has his eyes closed until I actually get there.
Was his eyes closed though?
They were, yeah.
Are you sure, Aps? I've got video evidence. We'll check it. We'll check it and we're like, ding.
Yeah. They were closed. Yeah, so his eyes stay closed because apparently, I don't know why, but it's bad luck to look at the bride before she actually gets there. So then when I get there, that's when the actual ceremony starts. So it's 7 vows. Before the vows start, there's more prayers and there's more puja. So the pandit, the priest, is getting ready to sort of prep the wedding. And then the 7 vows start, and each vow symbolizes something. So one is about looking after each other. The other one is, being there in happy times and also bad times. It's supporting each other. And
then your families come and each one, is that them blessing the marriage?
Yeah. Okay. They're blessing the marriage. So it's normally between it's between the mum and dad, and I think also some grandparents as well. Yes. It is, I think that part of the wedding it's nice because it's traditional, but it's also, it is very long, and I mean, in all honesty, that is the filtered down version. That's actually, we requested the shorter version.
That was the shorter one?
That's the short version.
There's a longer one of that?
The long. So traditionally, when my mum and dad got married, it's an overnight wedding. So the puja goes on.
That section overnight.
Goes on all night. And they used to do night weddings before, back in the olden days. There wasn't day weddings.
Couples who are just having a civil ceremony, it's like a shortened version. They're like, oh, I don't know, it's really long, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, how long is it? Which one have you chosen? They're like, oh, it's like 15 minutes. In your case, just to think that alone was like an hour and a half anyway, or was it 2 hours, something like that?
And that was
the shortened version.
That's the shortened version, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, you get different...
Thank you. No. That's what I'm saying, thank you.
Yeah.
Because we would have had no time for photos otherwise. There would be literally no time. So you had that, and your wedding has been blessed. So you've had your traditional section. Then we went and we took some pictures. Again, in the 6 minutes that we had.
Yes, it was. It felt like a minute, but
yeah, it literally was like, I was like, Sonam, please, I need to take you. Like, no, I have to get ready. Yeah. Otherwise, the itinerary is going to be wrong. I'm like, yeah, but what about me?
Itinerary.
What about my itinerary? Because afterwards, you're going to look at me and say, oh, I don't have enough photos. Right? Yeah. So
traditionally, just in Indian culture, the bride is meant to be quite shy, quite demure. You're not really meant to look up. You're not meant to smile.
Pre-Instagram.
Yeah. Well, even then, I think there's still, if you go back to, I think if people that are very, very traditional in the Indian culture, that is what you're meant to do. I think it's changed.
The same in the Turkish culture.
Oh, really?
The bride, like if you go back, one of my mum's pictures, there's a photo of my mum and my dad, and they both look like really angry. And I asked them, I was like, did they force you two to get married? Like, was this arranged? Like, did you not want to get? And they're like, no, you weren't allowed to. You're not the bride, and is not supposed to smile on her wedding day. Like now, very different now, but
yeah. And I think I love my culture, but I think that I just wanted to enjoy my day, and I wanted to be myself, and that was quite important to me, because I think when you're born into like and if you're an Indian or every culture has their own traditions, but I think being a British Asian and being Indian, growing up, you have a bit of a identity clash almost, because
mix of cultures.
You're Indian, but then you're obviously grown up being British.
And then you eat in a Turkish area.
Yeah.
Mix of cultures, right?
Yeah. So I just wanted it to be like, I wanted the wedding to like represent who I am, and I think so I just wanted to be myself throughout the whole day, which is what I was.
It's a very multicultural wedding in everyone's case. And then you guys came in, you sat down, and the party started.
It did start.
Indian music had nice rhythm. Right?
Yeah.
And then your DJs had amazing sound systems. Like normally when you go to some venues, the sound system is nice, but it's just music. Do you know what I mean? In this one, it's just like subwoofers. The whole venue was vibrating, and then you had it, and then you guys hands were up. At one point, Apps was in the air.
Just about.
Yeah.
Just about. What was the party like?
The party was amazing, and I have to say, as soon as I got ready in that third dress, that's when I was like, I can breathe, because there's nothing else going on after this now. Now I can let my hair down and I can just relax. Not that I didn't enjoy the rest of the day, but I didn't have like a timer like in my head saying
What
that
you
I
mean
need
until
to.
the speeches?
Until the speeches, yeah. But
Until when your girls just
yeah,
dug into her.
yeah.
So when you have speeches, it's always worrying because your friends love you, but at the same time, I gave a speech at my cousin's wedding, and it's always, okay, how nice am I, and how much comedy do I go for, and how much do I rub your face in it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is it slightly worrying when you've got your girls and you guys are all, and they're quite loud,
Yeah,
right? And you're thinking to yourself, do I really want to give them this stage to ruin me on my wedding day? What was that like? Did that go through your head? Because I know you're sort of a bit more planny, and then you're just giving somebody the reins and go and do what you want.
I'm very planny, but my best friend is she's like my twin. Like she's actually, so whatever she normally thinks, I just know, I just trusted her. And
She dug into him more than she dug into you.
Yeah, she dug into him quite a bit, but yeah, and I've got two best friends actually, so they both know me really, really well, and they're the two that I chose to go up because I knew that they'd have the right balance of comedy, giving something away about me, grilling into apps a little bit, which is always a bit fun for me anyway.
Yeah,
so,
dig into apps.
Yeah, and yeah, the speeches are always like, not just my wedding, but at anyone's wedding, they're my favourite part of the wedding.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people, especially at Indian weddings, sometimes you don't even, if they're like a distant relative that's been invited, they don't know you that well. So I think that's the one time.
Oh no, these two knew you. They knew way more than they gave away. I mean, I felt like they had another paper that they decided not to read. Right, so you got married.
I did?
Yes, we got married. We got married. You got married.
Yeah.
I was there.
You were a big part of it.
Yes, I'm very privileged to be part of your wedding actually, because it was such a fun wedding. What was your experience like with Coban? When I say that, I mean us.
I feel like my wedding wouldn't have been my wedding without you guys.
Really?
And that is like, honestly, the truth. I'm not just saying that because you're sitting in front of me, but I had so much feedback, even after the wedding on you guys, saying that you were so good in managing like the close to 300 guests that we had, especially during a day like that. But also, I think running up to the wedding, just from our beginning conversations, it was just so great to like speak to you guys, and you were so helpful, and I just knew straight away that I'd seen a lot of photographers at that point, and I just knew straight away that you guys were going to be the one.
That's really nice of you to say.
Yeah, and then on the day I just felt so relaxed, and I think that was partly.
She got me blushing.
Yeah, that was mainly because of the way that I think you have this way of making the bride feel really relaxed, and I'm sure you do the same with everyone. But I think
of it as my wedding. Remember when I was saying to you, I said the same to Apps. I was like, don't spoil my wedding, Apps.
Yeah.
This is my wedding. You just happen to be funding it. Right?
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I think of it that way, I'm like, I'm not going to let anybody on that day ruin my wedding.
I just really want to thank you guys for doing such a brilliant job.
Really?
Yeah, it was amazing.
We'll pay her after.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like they're quite well dressed.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and you guys just looked so slick on the day.
Thank you.
Which I think for a venue like that, I think it just you looked the part, you were the part, and I genuinely think, like, I'm not just saying this, but I think getting you guys in as my photographer was one of the best decisions of the wedding.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I feel very emotional right now.
Yeah.
What are you saying there? Somebody else before us.
Oh my God, I'm so glad we didn't go with him, because
I was just thinking about that right now, because we lost that deposit with him and we lost the deposit with the photographer.
Yeah, they were both such.
Because you came to me, we're having some issues with these other people. Can you at least just give us a quote? And I didn't think you were going to come with us. I'll be honest. So I sent over the quote, and I wasn't expecting a response. You had a caterer that you were going to go with.
Yeah.
And then I don't think he was available on the new date, or something happened and you guys didn't book him. Yeah. And then he just disappeared.
He disappeared, and
people's weddings.
He was also like a very private person. Like, he would not disclose anything about his life. And I'm really good with my intuition. I'm quite good at like reading people, and I just always felt like there was something like a bit dodgy about him. And I swear, he just disappeared off the planet, and you can't find him on, like, he's not on any social media, he's not on anything. You can't even find him if you Google him. But actually, on Google Maps, somebody wrote reviews about him where he disappeared on them as well.
On their wedding day?
On their wedding day.
And so they didn't have a caterer on their wedding day?
Oh, yeah, it was just awful.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine that? When I say you, I'm talking about Mama behind the camera.
Yeah.
Could you imagine with all the planning that you did?
Yeah.
I'm not even I could not console you on that day. I mean, my skill set with consoling brides is like quite high, right? Because of the amount of stuff that's happened. But I couldn't console you.
It was a lucky escape with him and also with the other photographer.
Okay. What?
No, but he was just like, first of all, I think we had seen so many at that point, but I think when I look back on his style, it really wasn't my style. And when we went and booked him, I was just like, I'm not happy.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we paid him what?
We paid him like, I think we lost about $2,000. Yeah.
Deposit.
Yeah.
I feel very privileged now that you basically spent an extra $2,000 on these. That was happened.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's why I was trying to haggle.
Yeah, she was haggling me. She said, "Look, normally this is 2 days, and we're doing it in one. Can you do me something?"
Yeah.
When you look at photographer styles, some like that a darker style.
I don't like that.
Some like a darker style, and a lot of Asian weddings and stuff, they go for that slightly darker, high contrast, dark, moody photos. Which for me, I like maybe a few of them.
Yeah.
But I always think that a wedding is bright and is colourful. And
a lot of the Asian photographers, they just had that same style.
Okay.
It was just like, he was trying to quote me like 10 grand or something, just photos.
10 grand.
Yeah.
And then my brides say that I'm expensive, right?
And I was like, are you actually gonna, like, kidding me? This is ridiculous. And then I think he was trying to say that he won loads of awards and stuff. But he would just like...
The only award that is important is what you just said to me a couple of moments ago. That to me is I can't pay for that award.
Yeah.
Like you saying to me, wow, you made my day, I love my photos. For me, that is my award. If I could take that, I might just put it into a text form and stick it on my wall.
Yeah.
Because that for me is the award. Where did you go on your honeymoon?
We went to Singapore and Bali. Actually, before we went on our honeymoon, we went on a minimoon, which was a week in the south of France. So,
look at you two. You literally had everything, Sonam. You are the one person who can't say I didn't do anything. So Singapore, Bali, south of France. Traditional English wedding, a Hindu wedding, and then a multicultural party. My wife cannot watch this video. I'm so glad that she had to pop out. She cannot watch this video. I'm so underperformed compared to this, mate. She had one wedding and she had one honeymoon, and that's it. She didn't have minimoon, she didn't have any major birthday, nothing.
Well, she's got a photographer husband, which is...
Okay, wait.
You're underestimating yourself. You made a dress for her, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Brownie points. So, how was the honeymoon like?
It was incredible. Well, the thing is, it was quite stressful running up to it because it was a surprise. Apps love surprises whenever we go away.
I take it you don't.
I don't like surprises, and I was really stressed because I needed to pack, I needed to know what kind of weather it was, and I just about managed to get the weather out of him.
I can imagine she's going to have an itinerary for her, for her actual honeymoon as well. Like, check 2 sun creams because one's not enough, and then I need to put them in a bag, and they have to be double wrapped because... Apps, why didn't you double wrap that? Am I close enough?
That's my day-to-day struggle.
Okay, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's good because he doesn't have to think about anything.
Yeah.
Bali was amazing. So we did whenever we go on holiday, I've noticed, because we didn't live together before, I didn't know that much about apps, but what I did, and we hadn't been on a proper holiday before we got married. We went to Paris, but we hadn't been on like a big holiday. So what I noticed about apps, which I really liked, is he likes doing different hotels just to get like a different feel.
Okay, so
for areas.
multiple during the same trip.
Bali, we did Ubud, which was like very...
I'm going to nod because I don't know.
Ubud is very zen. It's like loads of people do loads of yoga.
It sounds amazing, Ubud.
Yeah.
It sounds very zen.
Yeah, it's really clean. It's very like, when you breathe, it just feels like there's like no pollution. It feels like there's no pollution whatsoever.
I take you for the kind of person who doesn't lie on a beach. Like somebody who likes to explore and go and see, and you'll be like hiking and mountain.
Yeah.
App seems like the kind of guy who just wants to go and sleep by the pool. That kind of guy, right? Which kind of honeymoon did you have?
It's not, so that hotel it was called the Kion Jungle Resort, and for anyone that wants a recommendation for a Bali honeymoon hotel, it was my favourite hotel ever.
Jungle hotel.
You're in the middle of a jungle, and the infinity pool is like amazing. There's like multiple pools in the distance.
Do you guys want to give Kayon Jungle, want to give Sonam another holiday? She'll come and she'll record it again, and we'll put it up.
Yeah, and we also did yoga every day, which was nice. And
Was
that
he with you?
Yeah, he used to do it with me.
Did you make him do it?
I did make him do it, but he enjoyed it, didn't you?
Yes. No, I did seriously.
The smile on his face went.
No, it was great. And then
You tried your best to get him into a sort of a fitness lifestyle.
I tried.
You tried, and he did it for his honeymoon, and then what was it, for 2 weeks before he went on holiday again?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
since then, he's not once thought about it. In my mind, when I think Bali, I just think, coconuts and drinking cocktails on the beach sort of thing. Was that the kind of experience, or completely different for you?
It was really different. So Bali's got a lot of culture. There's a lot of temples there.
Okay.
So we went to see quite a few temples, which was
Buddhist
nice. It's
temple.
Buddhist, yeah. So we went to see quite a few temples there. We also went to the beach, which was quite nice. So there is that part of it as well. But Ubud is it's known for its coffee plantations. So
Is this the place where they sell the coffee that the monkeys pre-eat?
yes.
I can't bring myself to it. I can't.
Yeah.
I know they wash it, but to me, I'm like, the monkeys pooped it out. Like,
We did give it a try. It was quite nice, I have to say. But yeah, Kopi Luwak.
did you have a normal coffee with it? Just because you might just like coffee, and it's not that much better of a coffee. Like,
Maybe. I mean, we didn't get. They do try and get you to bring some back. We didn't go that far.
oh, you didn't go that far.
No.
It wasn't that good.
It was good, but I think also in the back of my mind, because I'd seen the process of it happening, I was a little bit.
You watched it.
You can.
You watch it.
They have.
No,
We
you
didn't-
didn't see
we
it
didn't-
actually, like, while the process is happening, and
Yeah.
a guy takes it to the clean up, washing,
Yeah.
go through the
They talk you through it, and you can see the animals.
Okay. You're like, this coffee's from that guy, that coffee's
Yeah.
from that guy.
Yeah. So that was an experience.
Okay.
But the
Yeah,
other part of Bali that is very different to Ubud is.
God, sorry, it's in my head. I'm just seeing the whole thing. Sonam, I'm there with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
the
got
other
to go
part.
and see it.
Oh, you know what? I might have to do it for this video. It's for research purposes.
Yes.
I have to go there for research purposes.
Obviously, I didn't know where I was going, but when we'd spoken about the honeymoon beforehand, we both wanted half the trip to be part of the trip to be really relaxing, and then the other part to be active, because I think we'd both probably get quite bored if we just had to sit around. We did consider going to just going like Maldives or Mauritius, but I think for us we just both wanted the relaxation, but also because we're going somewhere new, we just wanted to go and see it and explore it.
Don't throw him under a bus, as I say to every one of my brides. But is there anything about abs that, now that you live together, you wish you could change?
He watches a lot of TV, which gets to me sometimes, because I'm like the total opposite. And before I married Apps, I never watched any TV. Like, I was one of these people that I couldn't even be a part of like the social conversations at work of all these series that people used to watch, because I was either like at the gym in the evenings, I was working late, or before the wedding, I was just out seeing suppliers or something to do with the wedding. So yeah, I think it's good and bad. So it's good that he's got me into watching TV, because I was a total opposite, where I never used to watch anything. So I can see the benefits of where like I can now,
It's not TV,
yeah, not like as in Netflix and shows and series.
What is he watching now? What's his main one? Squid Game.
Oh, we're watching it together. We watch stuff together, but then also like he watches stuff separately. What are you watching at the moment? Modern Family.
I just
Yeah, I think sometimes
So
like
rather than you converting him to the gym, he's converted you to TV.
he's converted me to watching TV. Yeah.
We've wiped the floor with him. What is it that you love more about him now that you're married?
He's extremely caring. He's very, very caring. And I think that's really important in a marriage, because when I used to live, I was flat sharing before this. So, if I was having a bad day, like I would just keep it to myself, or I'd speak to, my flatmate or something. But I think when you get married, you're pushing two lives into one. Like, people might say, you obviously do, it's important to remain your own person, but you have two sides to think about. Like, before, my key priorities were you know, I have to go and see my family, or I have to go and I have to spend time. Yeah, I have to go to the gym. I have to do this. And I think when you get married, it's you have two sides of the family that you need to consider, and you know, you would do that for your husband, and you'd expect them to do the same, you know, in response. And I think so. It's important to have someone that like cares about not only you but also your family as well, because essentially that's who, you know, that's where you've come from. So I think that's what I really like about him, and also he's very funny. So
that he is.
If I'm having a bad day, he will make me laugh, which is quite nice. There's loads of things I like about him. I think there's definitely more things I like about him.
Okay, there's only 2 things we found that she doesn't like, but there's so much she likes.
Yeah.
So Abs, you're not going anywhere soon.
Yeah, and he's quite clean. He's really clean.
He's very clean.
He's very clean, which is amazing.
He's a plus.
I mean, he's not as clean as me, but he's still very clean. So
I love that one. He's at first compliment, smack, compliment.
Yeah.
The perfect bride, the perfect wife, right? How'd you guys meet?
So this is quite an embarrassing story, but I'm just gonna say it all out. For the first time in my life ever, and this is the 100% truth, I added a boy on Facebook, and
was that our beautiful Apps?
It happened to be Apps. Apps. Yeah, I remember being on the phone to my friend, and we had one friend in common, but he kept popping up on the people you may know section.
Okay.
And I was on the phone to my best friend at the time, the one that did my speech on the wedding.
The ones that rubbed you on
the wedding day. And I was just saying to her, this person keeps popping up, and he's quite good looking. So she was like, why don't you just add him? And I was like, no way, I'm not going to add him. I've never added anyone in my life on Facebook. I'm not going to do it. And she was like, you've got nothing to lose. She was like, you're single. She said, people are dating on the internet, it's pretty much the same thing. And she said, to be honest, you probably get more of a glimpse of his life this way anyway. So I was like, okay.
He's a party animal. Just scroll through his photos.
So I said, anyway, I was like, you know what? I said, what have I got to lose? I was like, I'm just going to add him. Like at the time, I was going to Greece on a family holiday the next day. So I was like, if this is a disaster, I'm just going to go on holiday and just enjoy my holiday with my parents. So I added him. And this was really late at night because I'm a very late sleeper. Within an hour, I had a message from Apps. Yeah, and I think he was just like, oh, hi, do I know you? And I was like, oh, God, this is so embarrassing. So somehow...
No, I saw you. You were really good looking.
Somehow I managed to get out of that. I can't remember how I got out of it. But yeah, we just started chatting. And then I told him I was going on holiday. And we just kept talking. And I think I was going away for 2 weeks. And the communication was constant throughout this whole 2 weeks. And... when we got back, we were both like, okay, we've been speaking like quite a lot over these 2 weeks, so I think it's about time we meet.
What was the first date like?
The first date was, well, he was late, but...
You naughty...
5 minutes.
It was 10 minutes.
Okay, for her though, that's a long time.
It was 10 minutes.
For Sonam, 5 minutes. Oh, how dare you?
Yeah, he was 10 minutes late. We met at a bar. I think it was at the Mondrian at South Bank, so it's got a really nice view. The setting was lovely, and when I saw him, he looked...
Opportunity for a love to happen, right?
Yeah, and when I saw him, he looked exactly like his pictures, which was a huge plus.
This is pre-filtering, right? This is not like Instagram now where you see someone and they're like completely look different to what they look like in real life. So he was that good looking.
He was, yeah. He still is good looking.
Well, of course he is.
Yeah, and yeah, so I saw him, and then we just hit it off straight away, and it was, and at the time I think I had quite a negative mindset towards like relationships in general. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna, it was a great evening, but I'm not gonna think too much into it. I'm just gonna see how it goes. And I was like, maybe this will turn into something, maybe it won't.
When did you know? Did anything happen during the first date? You were like, oh, this might be the one.
Yeah.
Really? What did he say? What was the smooth talker saying? Go on.
He was just very unlike a lot of other dates I'd been on. He seemed very genuine. He didn't feel the need to like boast about himself, or like he didn't have a point to prove. He was just very like real. And when I was talking to him, it just felt like it just felt like I was talking to someone I'd known for quite a long time. And so it's like if I had chose people in my life already, like my friends and my family, it just felt like I was talking to someone I'm really comfortable with. But at the same time, obviously there was that excitement there because it was like a first date.
Well, thank you so much for that, Sonam.
That's all right.
You've been very helpful. I'm sure the brides are going to take so much out of what you said today. And as Sonam has said, marriage may look all glitz and glam, but if you find the right person, marriage is a special thing. It's two people coming together, and it's the joining of ideas, love, and everything that's special. Don't lose yourself, as she said. Make sure that you keep your sanity. Find that thing that keeps you sane throughout this whole ordeal. That might be, in her case, the gym. It might be, in your case, just going for a walk, talking to your partner. Don't forget, there's going to be so many ideas. So many people are going to try and get involved and make your wedding their wedding, but it's not their wedding. It's your wedding. Until next time, please subscribe to see more videos with our beautiful brides. Until next time, and if you want to see our work and you want to see Sonam's beautiful wedding, head over to cobanweddings.com. Until next time.